Hamed. Very, very unique.
Oh, left hook, and he's got it this time.
Leaping right hand by the Prince. Ooh. And a hard left.
Red gloves left. So Paul Dingle got stuck with the yellow.
To get on top. Good left hook, right hand.
Naseem was born in February 1974 in Sheffield, UK. Learning the sweet science from the age of 7 under the guidance of the famous Irish coach Brendan Ingle, at 12 years old, Hamed confidently predicted the inevitable championship and proclaimed the desire to make a movie about his life story.
Self-belief. He's been the same now as what he was when he was 7. He used to say to me, "I'm going to make you very, very rich." I says, "That's very nice." He says, "Now I'm going to be the best fighter to come out of Sheffield, come out of Great Britain." He says, "I'm going to be world champion at any weight." Brilliant.
In the ring, the risk-taking Nas, as the team called him for short, also never fit the standard hard-nosed boxer image, and mastered the style of a dancing southpaw with a lethal punch. A brash teenager in leopard print shorts did not stay in the amateurs for too long. 2 months later, after the 18th birthday, he went pro to work on the hallmark perks that would catch the viewer's eyes in the future. The debut took place in April 1992 at 115 pounds. Ricky Beard, a holder of a losing record, tested Hamed's ability to take a punch.
Very much so. There's that right hand. There's that right hand again.
Beard himself could not boast of such a capacity.
Right hand popped out.
And fell victim to a body shot in the second round.
Good shot.
Body shot. Well.
Delighted young man doing his flips for all to see.
Naseem returned to the ring in 2 weeks, snapping the right hand from both stances.
Well, he's a good kid.
He caught the opponent's head with a patented left. The bout following a month later ended just as quickly. The youngster easily dodged attacks, acted the ape, and, of course, found the mark.
Like I said, both his previous fights have ended in round 2, and he's looking to do a job on. Left, got him. And that's it, a third successive second round win here.
Having gone up to 118 pounds in the 2 subsequent appearances, the Sheffield student was more restrained.
Good body shot. Good decision from the referee.
Which did not prevent him from easily dealing with journeymen.
Ball there for Des, and a great body shot from Naseem. They hurt.
Before encountering some resistance by Alan Lay, a boxer with a positive win-loss ratio. However, Naseem subjected him to a real-life execution.
At Bantam, Johnny Armour. Oh, lovely right there from Hamed, straight through.
The Prince's right hand fired from both stances that evening.
Oh, a beautiful straight right. And Lay still. Oh, lovely right hand. Slinks down to the canvas.
Back in Leopard in '94, Hamed entertained the crowd again.
Look at that stance coming in, Hamed. You wonder where he gets the power from. It's so spread, isn't it?
Making the counterparts miss.
I think the main thing about him, Reg, he's not a puncher any of that.
And fall.
Oh dear. Let's not say that I blame him.
Well, he's rolling about, Reg.
Thus, in a span of 2 years as a professional, Nas scored 11 victories in a row with 10 knockouts. It was time to add a worthy opposition to the program.
A little bit of breakdance.
In May of 1994, the 20-year-old Brit challenged for the European Championship crown in the bantamweight division. Vincenzo Belcastro was beaten up in a playful manner. In 12 rounds, Naseem couldn't deny himself the pleasure of dropping the rival a couple of times.
Siamo all'11ª ripresa, arbitro Logiste, 11 punti, 13 punti.
In October, the up-and-comer went on to conquer the vacant WBC International title. In the super bantamweight division, on the soil of his native Sheffield, Prince met the first worthy opponent, Freddie Cruz, with a record of 45-6.
So now, let's see if...
harassing with single shots and avoiding damage.
Only fancy touch so far from Cruz at the tassels on his trunks.
Hamed kept blitzing in with flurries like a tornado.
Oh, what a good shot. To see him shaking in the opening round, that is news.
These shots are getting right.
Showing no respect, he pressed Freddie at will.
I don't think I've ever seen a fighter with just so much confidence in
The
it.
opening round, Jim, is it? Says, all right, mate, you weren't as bad.
But getting the chin checked in the fourth.
British judges and referee.
Naseem demonstrated wrestling
Shots.
Oh dear.
and acrobatic skills.
Submission. Oh,
In the sixth, he got bored and the referee had to intervene to save Cruz.
This is one game fella, Cruz, and I tell you what, he's got to be, because it's all over. Referee's quite right. He's seen the man wobble. He knows he's...
At the time, many pundits criticized Nas for dragging out the spectacle instead of sparking Freddie quickly with knockout blows. In return, the contest against the unbeaten Dominican with 17 wins, Laureano Ramirez, saw its devastating conclusion in the 9th minute.
Definitely. Possibly a tooth has been loosened with that punch.
Oh, well, that was... His jaw was...
This lead right hook would present issues to all Prince's future opponents.
That punch... Oh, well, that was... His jaw was...
In 1995, Hamed signed with the promoter Frank Warren, who promised a significant push towards world fame. Meanwhile, while Warren was struggling through the bureaucracy of the largest organizations, Naseem continued to gain experience. In January, the Mexican Armando Castro, who had seen 6 champions in the ring, was ready to give the Sheffielder a tough scrap.
Special.
And I tell you, Jim, I'm sure he...
But 38 knockouts and 43 wins did not help Castro.
Oh, look at that.
Really close to catching him everything. That was more of a stunt.
While eating punches in king-sized portions,
A guy like this that nobody has, obviously, we realise that now.
Armando only hit air in response. The referee deemed the action non-competitive and decided to save the veteran's brain cells.
It's a foolish bravery, and it's all over in the 4th round. And there is the official.
Despite the ever-increasing level of competition, the next 3 opponents did not make it out of the 2nd round.
Absorb a good punch, but then again, we've got to find out.
The Argentinian Sergio Liendo tried to bite back, yet having tasted the canvas,
Oh, what a left hook. He's got no control of his feet.
he should not have continued.
Stiffened on him.
Now the referee should stop that, right?
Yeah, he's over.
That's the last thing we want.
A brutal, truly stiff knockout.
That is the last thing we wanted to see tonight.
The southpaw Enrique Angeles was in the mood for a shootout.
Unique style, blurring hand speed, punches coming in from angles you don't dream of.
But couldn't find the target for love nor money.
Go here, but Angeles doesn't look phased at all and gets him with a couple of punches.
The Brit was laser sharp with signature leaping hooks.
Anybody who can be the top of the tree out there has got to be good.
Right hand crushing. Looks as if he's easy enough to hit, and he's been hit plenty of times in this first round too. Oh, and
The culmination was not long in coming.
ringing around this arena. Oh, terrific right hand, and then
A picture-perfect pull counter with a stance switch.
to take effect. It was the right hand, I'm sure, that did it.
And a victory dance long before the TikTok era.
Is he going to beat the count? No, he's not. He's knocked out in the 2nd round. There's the backflip.
When I say I'm supreme, people just laugh. Now, what are they going to say when I become world champion?
In July 1995, Juan Perez, a veteran of 50 fights, saw the same disappointing result.
His way to yet another quick win. Perez is in desperate trouble again. Down he goes. It is. He's done it again. Another somersault. And that's
Too. I'm not bragging anything, but I'm too good.
With 5 defenses of the WBC International belt, which in fact meant nothing on a global scale, Hamed became the main contender for the WBO featherweight gold. The announcement turned out to be a scandalous one, since he had never performed at 126 pounds. It is also worth noting that in the 90s, the World Boxing Organization was not considered upper echelon, becoming such only in the 2000s. Despite all the talks, in September of '95, Nas stood across the champion. The Brit Steve Robinson owned a streak of 8 victories with 7 defenses, and was far from a punching bag. The bigger man, Robinson, tried to march forward, but all the shots were way off.
Wearing down later on, let's see.
Yes, it certainly looks that way. He's keeping...
Naseem was the boss in the ring.
Robinson's not buying that. He's fighting out of that high-held guard, just waiting his...
Come the 5th frame, he abandoned the antics and opened with a powerful combination.
I think Robinson always got him. Down goes Robinson for only the 2nd time.
Steve got up and went into survival mode.
He's been outboxed, he's finding the angles now, and he's beginning to get through. Robinson...
The exhausted title holder got through 2 more rounds.
The last rally of a proud champion.
In the 8th, the strap was surrendered to the new owner.
In the last couple of rounds, maybe. And that's just a slip. Now he slipped.
Having floored the champ with a left hook, Prince became the real king at the age of 21, with an impressive 20-0 record. However, the first high-profile belt cost the young talent dearly. Nas suffered a serious hand injury, which would haunt him until the end of his career.
From the more partisan of the Robinson.
Hamed spent the year of 1996 defending the newly captured crown. The March meeting with Saeed Lawal was almost cut short at the 3-second mark.
Oh my word!
The cameraman was just zooming in when Lawal had already been plastered across the canvas. On autopilot, the challenger managed to prolong the bout for another 32 seconds.
The first fight is not finished in the first round, it's because Nas doesn't want to. Yep, it's all over. All over.
In a duel with Daniel Elusive, Nas introduced himself as the owner of the palace. The undefeated Puerto Rican with 15 wins and 13 knockouts planned to make the match last longer than Prince's entrance.
35 seconds.
Kicking off with a traditional mockery of the opponent's skills,
A right hand gets through from outside of one there.
the champion recklessly stayed in the exchange for too long.
He's not psyched out in any way. Good right hand again.
Oh, he's got him down! Naseem is put down by a right hand.
Having touched the ground for the first time, Hamed was expected to exercise caution or be punished for arrogance. The mind games would not stop nonetheless.
Seen before, he's caught by a right uppercut. And that...
In the second lap, Elusive suffered a severe disappointment.
Good solid right hand there.
Oh, left hook, and down goes Alice down in both rounds so far.
Heavy
Right,
punches.
and a left, and a hook. He's won it in round 2. The 9th time.
He entered a shootout and came out of it unconscious.
To suffering the first knockdown of his career.
The next contender was a former and future belt holder under various sanctioning bodies, Manuel Medina. Naseem dominated at the outset,
This is the round he predicted he'd win the left hand.
but the Mexican persevered and connected hard more than once.
Cut, that isn't helping his cause. Once again. Oh, right hand knocks Hamed's gum shield.
Despite landing a lot, Manuel ate a fair share of hefty punches later in the fight.
Glenn has it even at the moment, and a right hand from Hamed has Medina down. And the warnings Hamed's had about keeping his gum shield, hands low.
After the 11th round, Medina's corner stopped the contest.
The first man to stop Medina.
Naseem chalked up his second dicey performance in a row to the flu. The unbeaten Argentine Remigio Molina, with an impressive record of 27-0, has traditionally had enough in under 6 minutes.
Big right hand, he walked up to that. Molina took those punches extraordinarily well. How is he? At the moment, Naseem's doing what he wants. Right hand and a thunderous left.
4 successful defenses led Hamed to Tom Johnson in February 1997. Known by the nickname Boom Boom, the 44-2 IBF champion had previously dispatched 11 contenders entering this title unification bout. Against Naseem, each punch clearly had an impact on Johnson.
Suddenly. He's got him with a left hand. Johnson backed up against the ropes. Has to take another right hand this time. He's in a bit...
The Brit, who had been rocked in recent battles, had something to worry about as well.
Oh, the right hand! Catches!
Some decent punches. He's got to try and hurt Hamed with a good right hand.
In the 7th round, the Prince picked up the pace and was not going to let the opponent off the hook.
Gets Johnson going again. Oh, here we go.
All calls from a little short left hook inside, and again Johnson's hurt.
He can be a chilling finisher.
In the next frame, he found a way to blow up Boom Boom's old noggin.
If Naseem can find another big punch like that, a right uppercut in the 8th round, he'll do very well to get up from this.
An uppercut from hell marked the 25th triumph for Nas, who managed to accumulate 23 finishes and 2 significant belts in 5 years as a pro. A formidable knockout artist was here to stay, not only annoying everyone with his behavior and arrogance, but getting the job done in the ring.
Barry, what did you think of that?
Acknowledging the theatrical nature of boxing and the biggest stage being across the ocean, the Brit planned a voyage to North America. In the meantime, while contracts were being prepared, he defended the titles against the veteran Bill Hardy in a single round.
Well, Peter, then another right hand has jacked him when you thought he was going to stay down. It looked as if it would have stopped anyway. He said round 1, it is round 1.
In the same hands-by-the-waist style, the Argentine finisher Juan Cabrera was cut short at the 6th minute.
Bringing them off, bringing them round. Another good left hand.
And Cabrera is stopped in the 2nd round, just as...
Due to disputes with the promoters, Naseem was soon forced to relinquish the IBF strap, which was no longer needed to set up money fights anyway. The last stop was a return to Sheffield for an October confrontation with Jose Badillo. Despite the Puerto Rican's 20-1 portfolio with 15 knockouts, Nas delivered one of the best career performances.
Again, that right hand working so well, and this is a very confident Hamed.
But look at this, I think he's trying to do all this for the Sheffield fans. He's playing to the audience, trying to taunt for Badillo, who's taking all this.
Badillo boldly withstood the jabbing extravaganza for a while.
Previously in their careers, many of them.
The economical yet undeniable dominance of the Prince became obvious even to the Puerto Ricans' corner, and they interrupted the beating in the 7th round.
Badillo, not too happy, took another big left hand. This fellow is durable, but even he was wobbled by that. Then a right, blood coming from his nose. This could be the finish now. They want to stop it. Badillo's corner want to stop it.
The coach's game plan was followed to a T. The moment had arrived to produce blockbusters in the biggest boxing venues.
So Naseem Hamed makes it.
The Brits' widely publicized debut at New York's Madison Square Garden took place in December of 1997. This was the first combat trip of the 23-year-old Naseem, and he only climbed through the ropes after a 10-minute dance party. The former owner of the prestigious WBC Gold, Kevin Kelly, was waiting for him, with a record of 47-1, with 32 knockouts to show. Using the size advantage and a crisp jab, the American southpaw forced the adversary to fight with the hands up for the first time ever.
He's unable to solve, but down goes the Prince on Kelly's first series.
A double knockdown in the 2nd round awakened the Prince.
His gloves touch the canvas, the count begins. The 2nd knockdown for Kelly. So 1 knockdown.
In response, Nas himself introduced the opponent to the floor.
I think the mistake he made, there we saw it, right there.
There's the power. There's the power you were talking about.
Kelly managed to make the scrap competitive in the 3rd.
Takes a hard left from damage. Kelly lands.
Yet the tit-for-tat exchange in the 4th.
Down goes Kelly on 2 hard. Kelly a little slow to respond here.
You got to be careful mixing it up with Kelly because he
was in Hamed's favor.
Hand by Kelly and a right hand shot. Leaping right hand by the Prince. Ooh. And a hard left. And Kelly's down for the third time. Raises the canvas.
A hard and well-deserved win against serious opposition.
Stunning left hand, and Kevin Kelly on a...
Naseem's next rival was the lineal division champion Wilfredo Vasquez. The Puerto Rican held the prestigious WBA belt, but the organization banned the unification of titles. A lone loss in 23 appearances over 8 years made Wilfredo a force to be reckoned with. In the second frame, Vasquez managed to wobble the reigning king with a right hook.
Oh, countering right. Good shot.
Figuring out the timing, Hamed scored a knockdown in the third round.
Very unique.
Oh, left hook, and he's got it this time, and I'll have to count that.
And repeated in the sixth.
The Prince. Oh, left hand.
After the Puerto Rican threw a punch despite the referee's command,
Now the referee stops it.
and decided to get on Prince's nerves,
Hanging around, pass each other.
his minutes were numbered.
Would like him to do that.
Oh, left hand. And he
Moving in, looking for the big punch. That was a good right hand.
was going to be on the verge here. It is stopped in round 7.
With a record of 30-0 with 28 knockouts and 11 championship-level victories, the 24-year-old Nas became a global star of the featherweight division. On Halloween 1998, Hamed returned to the U.S. to face the third world champion in a row, Wayne McCullough. He entered the arena to the sound of Michael Jackson's Thriller, but failed to fulfill the promise to bury the Irishman. McCullough, who had never been face-planted, survived this time as well. Losing by decision, Wayne ended Nas's streak of 18 knockouts in a row.
Try to find the Prince's body. Right hand up the pipe by Nas. And McCullough is likely to earn some other chances.
The Brits' declining interest in training was becoming apparent. The behind-the-scenes scandals in his team did not help either. Signing with a new promoter, Naseem also got rid of the long-standing coach, Brendan Ingle. The million-earning prince did not want to give away the 10% due under the old agreement.
I feel betrayed. He's Judas. The only problem is all about money.
Ingle, on the other hand, was not going to put up with the lazy attitude in the gym.
21, so he's with me 14 years. So he thought he knew it all. So now he wasn't going to give me any credit. You know, be kind to everybody on your way up because you'll meet them on your way down.
After the breakup, the Brit turned to the famous trainer Emmanuel Stewart, and Ingle said that Nas had 4 solid performances left in him. If he only knew how accurate that prediction was. Hamed started the last year of the millennium with a showing in April against the undefeated Paul Ingle, with a record of 21 wins with 15 knockouts. The old coach's namesake spoiled Naseem's second fight in a row, refusing to be finished in the opening rounds.
They didn't have another pair of brand new red gloves left. So Paul Ingle got stuck with the yellow. Don't blame. Prince does. Style yourself a knockout artist and say you were going to dominate your opponent.
Paul was knocked down twice, but got up. In the 9th frame, the challenger even seized the initiative, bloodying the champion's face.
Cortez is a terrific referee. I totally agree with Brian Ingle.
Nevertheless, in the 11th, the Prince sent the stubborn counterpart to the floor for the third and last time.
Win this fight, and if a knockout presents itself, let it happen.
Here's the third set. Second 11th round knockout of Prince Naseem's career. The straight.
Despite the positive outcomes, the flaws that had spelled trouble more than once were becoming apparent. Bigger and more patient opponents were able to catch him on exaggerated slips.
Hamed is a puzzle that Kelly is unable to solve.
An excellent chin and tremendous power helped out. Still, at the highest level, this was not enough. The Sheffielder's main achievement of 1999 was the WBC belt, which he won in an uneventful contest with Cesar Soto. Spending an overwhelming portion of the bout in the clinch, Hamed was more remembered for wrestling fouls, not for sharp strikes.
Now, in a round and a half. And it'll be interesting to see what penalty this draws from them.
The Mexican surrendered the title only after the final bell.
Stop! Not one.
Subsequently, the organization soon took the strap from the Brit. It was the second time in his career.
WBC champion.
In 2000, Naseem returned to form, but only showed up in the ring twice to defend the lone remaining WBO gold. In the March performance versus the South African Vuyani Bungu, a mediocre outfit and entrance wasn't going to cut it. In London, the Prince came down to the ring on a magic carpet, Aladdin style. For 3 rounds, Nas peppered the opponent with jabs, throwing power punches here and there.
Left hand as well, and Bungu looked a bit hurt by that. Just rather ran out of stamina before finding the knockout punch like a champion to win it. And Bungu taking some heavy...
And having measured for the cross in the 4th. Hamed closed, ending the Disney fairy tale with a straight left.
Oh, and a big left hand puts Bungu on the floor in the 4th round, and I'm not sure he'll get up from that.
The next challenge was Augie Sanchez with a record of 26-1 and 23 knockouts. The last American to defeat Floyd Mayweather in the amateurs wasn't going away easily. The battle quickly turned into a 2-way slugfest.
Left hand there from Sanchez was a good one. Ambitious, but that's what he needs. I've always felt he has to keep...
Having been caught by a cross, the Sheffield native suffered an uncounted knockdown.
Confidence, he can do that, begin to cut. He's on the floor from Augie Sanchez, and Hamed is down for the...
Sanchez got dinged as well,
Get his power punches into his own. On top of that shot, Sanchez is hurt.
but returned the favor immediately with a left hook.
Should he be trading? Has he got a power bomb again? Hand! Left hand, and Hamed nearly went down. Sanchez is catching Hamed with some clean shots. Back comes the Prince. This is astonishing.
In the 3rd, the gunplay continued.
Left again from Sanchez, and Hamed's in desperate trouble. I hope Sanchez does something to at least enhance his reputation. Well, he's done that already.
Towards the closure, Sanchez's gas tank was drained.
Sanchez. Left hand from Hamed. And Sanchez going as well for him. He's caught.
Smelling blood in the water, the Prince sealed the deal in the 4th.
As well, the right hand to get on top. Good left hook, right hand. And Augie Sanchez is down. And the title, it was not a perfect performance, but it was
This defense of the WBO belt, which Naseem has owned since 1995, was the 15th and the last. Another hand injury. A bad one this time. After the surgery, Hamed would not show up in the gym for half a year, gaining a ridiculous amount of weight, 35 pounds. Even so, during the departure from boxing, the enterprising Brit recognized the opportunity to cash in. Anticipating the end of the athletic adventure, Nas surrendered the title. Still the lineal champion, he began campaigning for a super fight with Marco Antonio Barrera.
I want Barrera next. I'm gonna knock him out, and I'm gonna make history and bring it back to Sheffield, bring it back to England. Whoop, there it is.
But before moving on to the pinnacle of Naseem's career, let's briefly touch on the Prince's instinct-based style, which allowed him to flaunt his own invulnerability for years. Despite the tendency to show off,
Again, that right hand working so...
and the power that only Mother Nature could bestow,
to the ground. Good left hook, right hand. And Augie Sanchez is down.
the Brit has always been a well-schooled counterpuncher. To successfully maintain this strategy, Hamed relied on a quick and precise jab.
Done 1 or 2 lessons out of the Chris Eubank school.
Never investing too much into the poking shots, Nas controlled the distance, noticing the opponent's blows in advance and displaying excellent slipping skill.
Through from Adesanya. Ray Johnson tottering, almost went right hand. He's surely ready to go.
His greatest equalizer was the blazingly fast uppercut from either hand.
Can find another big punch like that. A right uppercut.
The upward punch worked both on the lead
Finished the first round is because now... Oh, Gero dude, leapt off the floor.
and on the counter. The right uppercut was most effective when paired with the signature left hand.
Now we see it from another angle.
Another important component was the ability to change stances on the move, defending and attacking with hooks from all sorts of angles.
Really land a punch. Trying to step it up now. Fast punches, good ones, and he's got him going here. Big right hand, he walked onto that. Molina took those punches extraordinarily well. How is he?
If the opponent shells up, the body is always there to be punished.
They didn't have another pair of brand new red gloves left. So Paul Engel got stuck with the...
After figuring out the range and the timing, the Prince presented the antagonist with a false target, capitalizing on the predictable reaction.
I think the main thing about him, Reg, he's not a puncher.
Naseem ringing around this arena. Oh, terrific right hand and then...
A real monster who achieved his goal in the ring, forcing rivals to fight with emotion.
Leaping right hand by the Prince. And up hard.
A possible antidote could be a tough counterpuncher with an impenetrable defense and a lot of patience. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a Mexican who was chosen by Hamed himself. The baby-faced assassin scored 38 knockouts in 55 outings, but by that point had already fell short 3 times. To get this bout, Barrera gave up the belt in the category below. Having split $10 million, 2 of which went to Marco, everyone was satisfied. The IBO title was on the line for the special occasion. The undefeated star with 31 knockouts and 35 showings was a 3-1 favorite with the bookies. Nevertheless, on April 7, 2001, in Las Vegas, the boxing capital of the world, the Mexican found the mythical fulcrum and turned the world upside down. Barrera took note of Augie Sanchez's success with a cross and a left hook. Throwing a right to the sternum, Marco freezed Naseem. After that, a sweeping blow came in from the left.
Look at that for a second, Glenn.
It was a good shot. Barrera's
liver usually.
Holding back his trademark Mexican fury, Barrera pulled Hamed in to smack him with a jab.
Barrera's not going to worry. 3 more, he's all over.
In the second round, the Brit wouldn't make adjustments.
He's always getting up.
The clinch was also the Mexican's domain.
And look at that. Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's World Wrestling Federation.
Patience and discipline paid dividends.
Barrera well picked, the natural super bantamweight. And he's done. Oh, another left hook.
The Prince's only success came from the lead hand.
She's up in training. That's what they've been working on. Good jabbing. Again, he looks for that right hook.
In the fourth, Nas was no longer in the joking mood.
Almost like a cobra waiting to strike, but he's got him with another left hook.
And spent the following 3 minutes at a distance. In the 6th frame, he switched to orthodox and got hit less.
Just warming up.
Except at the very end. In the second half, the confrontation turned into a game of contrasts and approaches.
Will face the Mexican like Barrera.
That's what they were asking for, and again, I think that one hit the gloves. Yeah, that might even have done so, but no cut that I can see. Oh, lovely shot. Classic shot, right.
Naseem kept eating damaging strikes.
And has clawed his way back into the argument. Oh, and he's got by another left hand. All over the place. Left himself open. And it looks so bad when that happens. It looks so very bad.
Despite being behind, the flaunting would not stop.
There's another. Cracking Barrera.
The 10th stretch was the best one so far for Hamed. However, in the championship rounds, Barrera went forward like a tank.
What we saw against Paul Engel.
The final 3 minutes were a complete domination. Closer to the final bell, the Mexican lost his cool and twisted the opponent's arm, which cost him a point. It did not affect the result anyway.
For so long, he's following the footsteps of Julio Cesar Chavez.
It was terrific stuff, but for my money, Naseem Hamed.
Not just a defeat, but a humiliation for the hot-headed 27-year-old Hamed. One judge saw it 116-111, the rest 115-112, which was quite generous. The Sheffielder would not accept defeat, blaming the short training camp as well as the horrendous 2-month-long weight cut and saying that the paycheck pulled him into the ring. Rejecting the contractual rematch with Barrera, Naseem put on boxing gloves for the last time after a year of inactivity.
The blue corner,
On May 18th, 2002, he was confronted by the European champion Manuel Calvo with a record of 33-4. The belt on the line was the same as in the clash with Barrera. Although the Prince captured the title, the unconvincing performance, the non-existent aggression, and the evident lack of drive upset even the most loyal fans. The Brit complained about yet another hand injury thereafter and promised to return with renewed vigor, but it never happened, and the record stays at 36-1 with 31 knockouts. Whether the daring spirit has left him, the natural talent has faded, or the injuries have taken their toll, Hamed looks at the retirement from boxing at the blooming age of 28 with no regrets. The Sheffielder excited the sport as a wealthy businessman with $35 million in net worth by now. During his career, the Prince won 3 important belts, beat a dozen champions, and entered the Boxing Hall of Fame. In addition, Nas has never been knocked out, a rare feat for even the greatest ones to step in the ring. When Naseem effortlessly made seasoned title holders look foolish for a decade, many hated him.
He's trying to do all this for the Sheffield fans.
When he retired, everyone realized what a unique fighter Nas truly was. One thing is for sure, despite not even looking like a boxer, but more like an artist, Hamed made an exceptional contribution to the history of the sweet science.
That right hand working so well, and this is a very...
Only fancy touch so far from Rose is the tassels on his trunks.
Oh, terrific right hand, and then bearing down later on. Let's see.
Yes, it certainly looks that way.
If you liked the video and want to see more boxing legends career reviews, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and vote for sport.
Oh dear.
At the moment, Naseem's doing what he wants. Right.
Leaping right hand by the Prince. And a hard left.
Dominating the round so far with a series of
Red gloves left. Some World England got stuck with the other.
I'm not bragging anything, but I'm too good.